Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1,400 and 500 and something. 1,548, 1548. Hi, I'm Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, Mont. This is going to be a little bit longer of a show as compared to the last show, which got hurried because we have a celebrity radio guest in the building, and, well, there were some demands.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That involved diet soda. That, and the guy handling his show in the building was a little afraid.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And flustered, as was the name of the last show. What is this? And
What is this?
it's called Mike's Daily Podcast, so don't get pissed. And I had a wonderful weekend. You know, I walked Basil the boxer, and he barked at me, and he... This is his solo.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I hope you enjoyed it. So, yeah, I also dealt with
Mike's
these two guys.
Daily
One of them has been on
Podcast.
this show,
Yeah.
and they're the nicest guys. I thoroughly enjoy them to a point. And then they start getting, because they do this show and I produce it, and then they start getting these ideas of things they want to do that are beyond the realm of what I can give them or what I should give them. Because, like, I'm a guy, if you ask me for something, I will throw myself into it. Like, I didn't open the door, someone threw themselves in here, is what I'm saying. Hi, Mark, it's Benita the rodeo queen. How you doing?
And to Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you what?
What? Ow.
You should throw yourself into everything you do with all your joie de vivre.
Wow, you used a little bit of French there.
Yeah, I did. But as a rule, I do not like French people.
I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
Look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the Brewmaster. Oh, boy, I have some right now.
Thank you. Root beer's scary. Have you noticed that people... Have you ever noticed... Hi, I'm the worst comedian on the planet. Have you ever seen that there is a thing... People have a difficulty doing selfies? Because as I go to my... Today's a selfie.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Once in a while, I like to throw in a picture of yours truly, Mike's of the... Mike, did I just flip my name around? Mike's Matthew? I threw the S on the opposite end of my name on the first part. But yeah, sometimes I get a little mixed up. And people, when they throw their selfies on the internet, as per usual, as they always do, as they never, ever, ever stop, they do this little mistake where they're staring so much at themselves that when the picture is taken, the camera is actually showing them looking at themselves. They're not actually looking at the lens, is what I'm saying. They're not looking at the lens, and therefore they're looking off to the side, and they look like they're just obsessed with themselves. And I think that's the name selfie works so perfectly, because the people are selfish, and they're all, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And there are some women who are in when I was a kid and I first went, wow, I'm turning into a young man, and you look at the mirror and let's say who hasn't flexed their muscles in front of, in my case, muscle or half a muscle or whatever. Cafe whatever. I mean, anyway, Café Anyway. You know, you're like,
Anyway.
But at some point you move away and you go, if I look at that mirror too long, I've become narcissistic and I become Trump. And
it makes me mildly nauseous.
I will tell you at the time.
Oh.
I'll keep you in suspense.
yeah, he's keeping us in suspense of his big speech tonight. That's all everybody's talking about is a speech. What's he going to say at his speech? An abortion bill failed. The Senate failed to pass a bill banning abortions after 20 weeks. That's my when there was a Black Sea incident, a Russian military jet performed an unsafe intercept of an American Navy plane while it was flying in international airspace over the Black Sea yesterday. There is a Humane Society probe going on. The Humane Society CEO, Wayne Pacella, accused of sexual harassment by 3 women in the Humane Society. It's nice to animals, but to women, he treats like crap, is what they're saying. And who was what? 10 tourists were charged with pornographic dancing in Cambodia. It almost sounds like I'm reading off the Onion webpage. But a sex-charged crash of cultures has landed 10 Westerners in jail in Cambodia. Cambodian prosecutors billed as a pub crawl and found people dancing pornographically. So the podcast picture today is, I think we'll go with the one from last week. That was with Basil the Boxer as we were walking in Fairmont Ridge, which that was Thursday I did that, and I went on a... No, we're not going to do that picture. We're not. We're gonna go with... Yes, we are going to go with that picture. We're going to go... We're recording this live, so things are messed up. Yeah, so there's some cows in the background at Fairmont Ridge. And that was the day that I realized that tall white men in the Bay Area, older white men, that have grown up in this wonderful cocoon of sunshine and happiness and merriment and any musical act you want to see, and everything is given to you for a price, and if you don't mind getting in a heck of a lot of traffic, or a hella, and you don't mind saying hella a lot, the Bay Area is a wondrous place. But it also makes people... Remember that thing, to the class of 1999, wear your sunscreen. Do you remember that? It was a little, I think they attributed it to Baz Luhrmann. But wear your sunscreen. One of the things he says was move to the Bay Area for a time, but...
Gentlemen of the class of 97.
Was it 97? Oh, wow.
Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting...
Oh, here we go.
You knew when you were young.
Here it is.
Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you soft.
There you go. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in the Bay Area, basically, but leave before it makes you soft. Well, these guys have gone soft, and they said some stupid things about my dog, and I did not appreciate that. And that was a previous podcast. And maybe I've gone soft and these things are bothering me and they shouldn't. But let's see. So January is the month of divorce, the biggest month of divorce. More people get divorced this month than any other. And part of what leads to divorce is this question that people ask. And it goes along these lines. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? People ask that question, and it annoys me. And here's the thing, is it's impossible for you to predict where you're going to be in 5 years. What you do to picture yourself in 5 years, and I'm a man of great imagination, and I can picture myself in 5. But 5 years ago, I was married. 5 years ago, I was in Alabama. No, wait, I was here. But 5 years ago is vastly different from today. And oh, wait a minute. I wasn't married. I had just gotten divorced, actually. But the point is, it's impossible for you to put... That question is loaded. You don't know what's going to happen in 5 years, and it's very presumptuous of you to think you know. And to put yourself in the place of who that person will be in 5 years. In 5 years, I will be 50, almost 55. And I will be... If all goes well, I'll be alive, I'll have all my limbs. But I don't know that. Things could be vastly different. I can find things. I used to watch a lot of TV. Now I don't. I watch stuff on YouTube. I think well, you know, I hate that. And it leads to divorce because a lot of people go, oh my gosh, I'm going to still be married to this guy or this woman, and we're going to still do the same things and eat the same food and da-da-da-da-da. And they do that and they get divorced because they go into the negative way. You should be positive when you think about 5 years into the future is my point. Yesterday, I don't mind this 5 years into the future. At my job, there's this lovely lady named Lana, and she cooks for us once a month. She'll sometimes cook for us. Sometimes it gets one day a month. We have like a celebration, a lunch that's catered by the company, and sometimes it's like Boudin's is this place in the Bay Area. They make bread. If you go down to Fisherman's Wharf, they have the big sourdough bread thing you can see through the window and go, oh look, they made an alligator. And they have the bowls with the clam chowder in it. But Lana will sometimes cook, and she has made lasagna, which we called Lana-zanya. She has made enchiladas, which we called enchiladas. And yesterday she made tacos, which we called tacos. But we called it Casa Lana. And Lana made these wonderful tacos. It was so good and almost healthy. But the thing is, when you eat tacos, you would think eating tacos, you wouldn't get all tired and stuff after eating tacos. Yesterday, I had the biggest food coma. I could barely walk Basil the Boxer yesterday. It was crazy. But thank you, Lana. But these guys that I work with, that I do the show for, they ask these things that are these asks all the time. And I just say, talk to my boss about it. Don't talk to me, because... All right, that's a little too specific a gripe. I apologize for that gripe. Supporters fear that Trump's speech is going to lack the edge they love. What? His first address, State of the Union. He's going to have some interesting people in that guest box of his with Melania. He will have someone who lost his legs in an IED explosion. And was blinded by the explosion, but yet he still went and re-enlisted in the war against which war we're in, I don't know at the time. But he's also going to have, Trump is going to have the firefighter that saved some people in Southern California. They're at a camp and they almost got burned down because of the fire. And he's going to have someone that adopted some people. A policeman that almost got killed, but he adopted the kids of a opioid addicted person. So some heroes, some real people that are American heroes, I guess is what he's going to have today. And when I heard that, I went, oh, that's great. That's great. I hate those State of the Union address speeches. Put me right to sleep. And it's all about whoever the president's party is. Those politicians in the room will be clapping and clapping and clapping and cheering, and occasionally someone will go up and yell at the black president and go, "You lie!" And that guy was an idiot that yelled that. But so there's what else? Campaign donor names to flash during State of the Union. What? The Trump campaign wants to put donor names in the light in the latest reminder that it's never too soon to start campaigning for re-election. Which this is interesting. The Michael Moore? The Michael guy. I can't think of his last name at the moment. That wrote the Fire and Fury speech that I talked about every day so far this week. He said in an interview that I heard that Trump will not run for re-election, which I was, what? No. But here it says he is, in this article by Fortune magazine. Trump's camp sent out fundraising solicitations on Monday. Pay at least $35 and your name will appear on the campaign's live stream of the State of the Union address tonight. The solicitation reads, "This is a movement. It's not just about one of us. It's about all of us, blah, 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 blah." So For just $35, you can get your name shown. During the GOP convention, Trump's campaign had a Your Name on a Jumbotron offer for those who donated $50 or more. Get your name in lights. Okay, I need to wrap it up, I think. Because this news is pretty depressing today. North Korea says America first will end the U.S. empire. Well, that's not. Spicer said, I embarrassed myself, my family, and friends as press secretary. Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, Spicer. You know, all you have to do to be the press secretary is just say the same thing over and over again. That's exactly what Sarah Sanders says. She just says, as we said before, the White House does not condone this sort of speech or did not in any way have anything to do with the Russians. You just say that over and over again. And then Laura Trump, Clinton reading Fire and Fury at Grammys was sad and despicable, just like Nikki Haley said. Oh well, that it was an attempt at a joke, and if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Because who's the closest one to you? Would be you. How secure is your data when it's stored in the cloud? That is a wonderful question the International Business Times asked. And since so much stuff is being thrown in the cloud, which, if you think about, it's basically we have condoned taking things that we own and giving them to someone else. It's so weird how we switched. But there's just so much stuff that we own. We buy a pod, and we throw it all in this big, ugly white box and stick it in our driveway. Or we upload it to this imaginary cloud somewhere that we don't know where it is. But hey, they store it, and maybe we can, retrieve it whenever we need it. And you retrieve it whenever you need it, and everything's fine. But what happens to that location that has that stuff that we own? What happens if that building that it's sitting in blows up? Is it backed up anywhere? What happens? I mean, what if a magic genie... As cloud storage becomes more common, data security is an increasing concern. Companies, schools have been increasing their use for services like Google Drive for some time, and a lot of individual users are also using it. I use Dropbox, for example. Hey, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. If you want to listen to the show, the past shows are up on Dropbox. There are links to that at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. If you're going to do any shopping on Amazon, you can go through, and Amazon has a bunch of cloud storage. They own a bunch of that, Amazon Drive. But if you're going to go through Amazon at all, you can do it through Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, and that helps us out. There's also a PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way. Microsoft OneDrive is another one of those. And Google Drive, which Google Drive to me is a joke. It filled up so fast, I don't even use it anymore. Microsoft OneDrive I tend to like. I don't know why I like it, because I don't even have a Microsoft account, but whatever. Cafe whatever. There's no doubt concern about what happens to that stuff.
Anyway.
Is information. Millions more users might store data online if they were more certain of security. Data stored in the cloud is nearly always stored in an encrypted form that would need to be cracked before an intruder could read the information. But as a scholar of cloud computing and cloud security, Habin Zhang says that where the keys to that encryption are held varies among cloud storage services. In addition, there are relatively simple ways users can boost their own data security beyond what's built into systems they use. Really? Letting users keep control. A few less popular cloud services, including Mega and Spider Oak, require users to upload and download files through service-specific client applications that include encryption functions. That extra step lets users keep the encryption keys themselves. For that additional security, users forgo some functions, such as being able to search among their cloud-stored files. What? As we go outside a Café Anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Well, I can't get into any of these other topics. We're going to have to wait till the next show. But thank you so much for listening to this one. And for, you know what? It's been a month. It's almost done, January. Oh, and it was supposed to be, wasn't today the big crazy moon thing? I noticed on the way in to work that it was big and full and beautiful, but I didn't see it eclipsing at all. So I don't know if that's going. I might go outside right now and see if it's happening. But anyway, that's mikesdailypodcast.com if you want to go there and check out all the past shows, past podcast pictures, and as you can see the characters that you've heard here at Café Anyway, you can see what they look like as well. It's all there at mikesdailypodcast.com. And now Ariel, the lovely Ariel, will reiterate that. Hey, next show it's going to be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.